Love and light. Welcome back to Mystic Healing and Tarot by Nina, aka hashtag Nina Be Known. I am so grateful and happy to have your time, your attention, and your energy. Let's get into this full moon for March 2022. This is going to be a full moon on on March 18th in the sign of Virgo, and then it will be transitioning into Libra. Okay. However, even though the actual full moon is on the 18th, the energy leading up to and after will still be beneficial for any type of manifestation work that you want to do, any intentions that you want to set, and releasing whatever's clever. So, before we get into this message, this reading, friend, this would be a perfect time for you to go ahead, please go above and beyond for me by just liking this video. If you get the time and feel it in your spirit at the end to just comment, any type of engagement is so much to me in my business, my purpose, my dream. So I thank you in advance for any time or reactions that are on the post. Okay, so let's get into the driving force of this full moon. Okay, we have, that was North Node, but I changed it, sorry. What was it? Okay, let me do this one again. Oh, yeah, oh, it did it again. So, North Node, no. This is Leo. Right? Yeah. Okay, so Leo energy is the energy that is the driving force behind this. So, this is courageous actions. This is situations as far as shadow work, doing shadow work as far as our pride is concerned. Also, I heard gullible. Now, Leos are prone to at times being gullible because they are the sign of the heart. They have such big hearts, okay? And they actually mean well. So, lucky number that we have is number 4. Also, so this is second house energy. So this is going to be, second house is the house of, what is this? It is the house of, why can't I think? Money. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is the house of our money, our abundance. So our possessions. Also with this, this goes into, that's why I need to do that. Okay, so this also goes into our values. And values was a word that I got this morning when I was meditating. And it was like values on a big level, like, what do we value? Because we value this thing, what do we bring towards it because we value? Like, how do we show that we value it? How do we see ourselves as value? Like, what value do you feel like you bring to the table? So these are things that go along with that. Also, as far as the planet, the way that it will affect us is, this is Neptune energy. Oh, wow, I did pull this last night and actually put the stuff back. And anyway, so Neptune is a planet of our imagination, our dreams, our psychic abilities, our delusions. So it's really kind of all over the place energy. But this energy, I feel like, see, here's another message that, like, people who know me know. But I have been on my spiritual journey for more than 10 years. I would say very seriously. And within like the last 2 to 3 years, especially the last 2 years, it's become more of a trend. And so people's values, as far as the value that you place on these types of things and the value that you give towards it, with yourself. If you are somebody who has like spiritual things, because it is like it could be a magical witchy kind of energy with that. But there's also that delusions plays into what I'm going to get into as far as the energy cards that I initially pulled for this full moon. So looking into just overall, you can research the planet Neptune and the astrology associated with it and see like what things resonate with you and use that as a base. Okay. Also with this energy of also with that's 4. I feel like 4 is going to be like a lucky grounding month. that we're getting into. And actually, people, if you know, you know that the true new year actually is March 21st. So I think it's beautiful that we have this like beautiful illumination of this full moon. You know, Virgo full moons are about healing and that hermit energy and going within and really going within spiritually and dealing with things spiritually, and kind of being tucked away into yourself and regrounding yourself, okay? So do take that time. If the energy is calling for you to rest, absolutely rest. Absolutely rest. Rest is very productive, and people don't see it as that. But if you're not well rested, you can't be as creative as you would be, you know, as energetic as you need to be. Okay, so that's very important. Also, with that resting is giving yourself time to dream and to go in that, what is it, is it REM? I always get this wrong when I'm channeling. Anyway, you know, deep sleep mode, friend. Okay, so if you are not getting, because they say like it's like within the 3rd to 4th hour that you go into that. So if you're just getting 3 to 4 hours, like, or, you know, broken up sleep is worse than no sleep at all. So pay attention to sleep patterns, because a lot of us get messages through dreams and we can't dream or won't remember our dreams or won't have the energy to remember or be able to unpack them because we're drained. And so it's like you wasn't just sleep free, you was passed out. You wasn't just sleep, you was passed out. So let's get into this first moon message, and this is what is going to be emerging during this time, okay? So the energy with this is perception, okay? So, like I was saying before with the delusions, the perception is everything. Like, this is a message that I get all the time, because our perception of how the creator is and how it actually is and what is actually a value and what isn't a value and how valuable we are versus the things that we put value into that don't add value to it. You know, so it's a really big thing to unpack and to allow yourself to open up to a greater perception of, like, not building opinion, but coming up with an educated opinion. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there needs to be more openness. So, it says the frequency of the perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So, it's about, like, this is your perceptions of how things work, and your perception of reality is going to play a big part, and it's going to be illuminated during this time, okay? So, pay attention to the things that you are not budging on, okay? Also, with this, the moon energy, it says last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. So there's a blockage possibly with this perception, and the intention that you need to set is to ask, but also allow and be open to what is revealed to you, so that you can see some of the shadow work and some of the darkness within yourself, the triggers within yourself, the patterns that aren't working for you within yourself, so that you can fix you, because we can't fix anybody else. We can definitely fix ourselves, and that's always beneficial, because a lot of people spend so much time healing and fixing everybody else, and you're still damaged because you are putting all this energy that could have gone into you into other people. And then what comes from that? Resentment. Okay, so the other energy that I have is 11, belief. This is a big one that we talk about on this channel. It says the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and our talents and a strong connection to the source. So belief supports our sense of self-worth, okay? So sometimes, 11 is a number of alignment, but sometimes we can't allow ourselves to align because we don't see ourselves as worthy. Sometimes it's a lack of connection to the source. Maybe we're more connected to the religion or the opinion or the spectators versus the deep divine connection. Also with your worth as far as what are you, maybe your perception of your worth is the problem. And what needs to be seen is that your value, the price has gone up, friend. The value has gone up. But as long as you don't fully accept that, you can't fully align. So it's like this alignment is going to bring out your gifts. It's going to show you your talents because it's going to align you in a frequency of greatness, okay? With this, we have the first quarter moon in Cancer. Push through your insecurities, okay? So this is a time for you to allow yourself to believe in the struggle. You know how they say you got to trust your struggle? What did Nipsey say? Okay, he says, shout out to the pain that gave me understanding, okay? So I definitely feel like that's what this energy is. It's telling you to push through your insecurities because when you face your fears, they will disappear. But I also feel like facing this fear is going to be a big part of your testimony, okay? And it's going to make people have see compassion in you, but also have more compassion for you and see you in a different light. It makes me feel like you're seen as more sometimes, like when we are, especially women, like we're in a more masculine energy where we are, you know, being the main providers and all those things. You can kind of have this suit of armor and give off an energy that it's to protect you, but it's also hindering you because, you know, if you act tough, people are going to be tough with you. Or if you act like you could do it, people aren't going to, you know what I'm saying? It's not just to like beg, but it's just to be more vulnerable, more transparent, more willing to trust and believe in the divine for the alignment, for the right people and places, and to learn that these insecurities are not real things. They're not real. They're trauma, but these are not really going to hit like without the reflection. You know what I'm saying? So it's like push through your insecurity, because once you do, you're going to, you know, be strengthened. You got to push through the hard part, okay? And the hard part is everything, like that. Those last couple steps up the mountain. All right. So that this absolutely goes with the next energy, which is intimacy. Okay, your belief in the trust of the divine and what you deserve. Okay, so if you truly don't just think that you deserve certain things, the universe knows, you know what I'm saying, what we put out there only. So we have to put the vibration that we want to receive, and that comes from a true belief system, meaning that you're not always the math ain't always going to be mathing. There's a trust and belief that comes in, and there's opportunities for true intimacy when we're in those vulnerable states. Because sometimes when you hit rock bottom, a lot of people meet, you know, the greatest people that they, you know, could have ever aligned with in that time, and get, you know, opportunities for moving forward. So it says the energy of intimacy supports us trusting that we are safe to allow closeness. So there are going to be, once this healing process comes in, and I feel like a lot of us have been in this cocoon, in this healing process, but when you come out of this cocoon, you are no longer a caterpillar, you're a butterfly, and people are going to start seeing the transformation, seeing how you have changed, knowing that they have to approach you differently, okay? First quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks, release your blockages, allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to go deep, to do that shadow work, to deal with your childhood trauma, to balance yourself, to get to that place of, like, look at the pose that they're in. What does it take for a person to get into this stance? It does take dedication, but it takes patience, and it takes, there's a process. Like, you don't just hop into this. You know what I'm saying? You're going to wobble, whatever, but you gotta look, I don't know what this stance is called. So, but anyway, but it is, I absolutely think that you should try it if you're called to, as far as helping you deal with your blockages. Visualize your blockages. I'm gonna do it. Hell. Okay. The final energy is first chakra, the root chakra. Energy of the root chakra supports our sense of safety in the physical world, and it reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies. So this is, I don't know who it's going to be good sex for somebody, especially with all this Scorpio energy. I feel like people are going to be able to release certain sexual blockages. in some ways, and like get past maybe some childhood trauma or some intimacy issues. That's really going to open yourself up to true intimacy, true, you know what I mean? Because it's like you weren't being true before. Even though you said that you were being true, your representative was true, but you weren't, because you had trauma and blockages or whatever. So you were only giving so much and really playing it safe. And so that's what you got, in a sense. Okay. So finally, this manifestation intention, it says last quarter moon in Virgo. Ooh, moon in Virgo. Attend to the details. So full illumination. So this is a time for really planning, setting these intentions. And when I tell people to, this is something where it's like people say that they're going to do it, but anytime I have really sat out and wrote out a manifestation intentionally and in present tense, actually it was a Libra moon where it was like, Spirit really showed out for me, y'all. It is delivered. I don't know what it is, the power of the, the written word, and whatever you choose to do with that. I always light mine on fire just because, I don't know, that's just how my ancestors be, I don't know, they're lit. But anyway, so writing down the things that you know what I'm saying, dear Spirit, God, the Most High, whoever you feel comfortable using the one and only as, and saying thank you for my stable, safe and secure financial situation. Thank you for giving me a job with all of the benefits that, what I'm saying, all of the things that you are looking for. Speak it as if it's present, but speak it as if gratitude, like you're thinking in advance. That's the point. Write everything as if you're thinking it in advance, but also as if it happened. It's always good, because I'll do this with some of my friends, where we will literally act. If I know about a manifestation, I'm going to ask you about, oh girl, what you going to do to bring it to life? Even though we're, what some people would say, lying, but no, it's everything, words or spells, nothing without intention. Okay? So, let's look at the reflection and direction. I'm just going to pull random from this deck. I'm just going to pull 4. And these messages, however they hit you, they hit you. I'm also going to pull, first I'm going to do the feelings. The feelings that this moon could be giving us and leaving us with. Okay. So, comforted, reassured, consoled, nourished, okay? So, there's going to be feelings of feeling comforted, that also goes along with intimacy. Feeling important is what I just heard. Was encouraged. Ooh, who is this? It says heartened, emboldened, and supported. So, somebody who is rooting for you, okay? They're comforting you. This is, okay, whoever's been like manifesting or working towards somebody with who's emotionally secure and emotionally intelligent, that's what this is. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Also, there's energy here for longing. So some of you guys, probably just because I said that, it's probably going to be worse. You're probably going to be longing for this person worse if things aren't just yet aligning. Yearning, wishful, homesick. Some of this, with this homesick energy, some of you guys are longing for like what was, and could be seeking comfort, but it's like you really do need to, be intimate with yourself first, because it's like you can only go as far and as deep with others as you do with yourself, okay? Also here, there are some people who are going to have desperate feelings, frantic, out of control, in need, stressed, tense, strained, under pressure. So if you are in these energies during this full moon, because the signs of the things, they affect everybody differently, or you could be coming out of this, but either way, I would set the intention to, take a break, go to a situation or ask just the universe for comfort, get a reading for some encouragement, Also, you know, do a lot of planning. Virgo energy is really a good time for the organization, that planning, that being practical, logical, but spiritually intentional, okay? Also, doing these release, okay? So, release some of these things that put you in a situation to where you're desperate. Release it. Maybe releasing it puts you in a place to where you don't feel secure, which is what we had said before, too. Okay, that's a problem. It's a problem if anytime we're seeking security outside of us because it's not 100. Okay? So what's solid will crumble. And if it does, guess what? That's for your best interest, okay? So, this is the, hold on, I don't remember, but whatever. So this is the work put in, okay. This is the, I always forget, Pleiades. Oh, I said it right. So, okay, some of you guys have been having some weird shit going on. You're like extra tired. Your dreams are weird. You could be having some astro travel, meaning like you were in other dimensions. You are, there's a lot of people ascending at this time. Also, there could be calls for you, like all of a sudden you're like watching alien stuff. Also, people, I've gotten this message before. If you do have a lot of air or especially Aquarius energy, you do have some like alien-like ties. So it says channeling, uplifting humanity. Look up like exactly, it's really deep. That's like a rabbit hole that you could fall down. Researching the Pleiades, and there's like different types of people, but they're like star people, and certain people are like them, okay? So, I don't know if some of you guys have a spirit guide that is of this, and or maybe this is what you've been trying to, what spirit's been trying to show somebody, but you're like, I don't know what the hell, I don't know why I feel like I'm out of spirit. I don't know, okay? But with this also, this is mirror work. It just says mirror, but I just actually said mirror work. Okay, but actually mirror work is something, you know, I was just telling somebody, like, okay, I come from a spiritual family, but I remember like so many things since like I had my adult awakening. I look back on so many experiences of myself as a kid, and it's like I was doing like spirit work and didn't know it. So one of the things that I used to do when I was a little girl was to like stare at myself in the mirror, but I wasn't like staring at my whole self. I was like looking at my eyes in the mirror, and it's like there's this state of like if you do it long enough, you can like zone out. And I remember I would have these like weird experience, like I couldn't explain it, but I would like zone out, and I remember like when I would be coming back, I would be like, the best way I could explain it is I would be like looking at me and being like, so this is what you look like? Almost like it was like my soul being reintroduced to this body, like, so this is what I look like now. I guess that's how I could explain it as an adult. It was weird as hell. But anyway, it says who or what is triggering you. This is time for us to like really look deep within ourselves, do mirror work, recite certain things in front of the mirror, because sometimes like we don't always act with integrity, and it's like, it's not just face God, but can you face yourself? Can you, the things that you say to other people, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times how we are with other people is how we truly feel about ourselves. So it's like, be able to do that mirror work. Look at yourself. Don't look at any time that someone's triggering you, that they're coming for you. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do, like, you're responsible for your triggers at the end of the day. So one thing that a stone or a gem that my aunt gave me years ago was, she was saying how my uncle, she was like, if he can act right and be a nice person at work and be, you know what I'm saying, like thoughtful, good enough to like, you know what I'm saying, you're that dude, you have all these promotions, you're capable of being that. So like it's a clutch, or it's an excuse if you can't be that way at home. So there's a need for us to like really look at our perception of ourselves. Some of us maybe have a negative perception. Some of us need to like deal with some of, you know, that shadow work so that we can have a brighter view of our perception and see ourselves. Because sometimes it's like when there's work that we have to do for ourselves that we're not doing, like you can have a darker perception and have insecurities or like weird triggers that it's like everybody else is like, what the hell are you talking about? But it's like, it's you. And it's not even this physical thing. This physical thing is just to get your attention. And like for some women, if it's like you have weight issues, this is like if you're somebody where it's like your weight really gets to you, you're in a place, ooh, this is for me too, friend. Your weight is where it is because there's like physical things or spiritual things that you're not dealing with, and that this is like how spirit can get your attention as far as like being more loving, intentional with yourself, taking more time for you, even if it is at the gym. Because if you think about it, like after you do work out, you do get those endorphins, and endorphins make people happy, right? But aside from that, like I noticed, like I have like real deep, what I didn't realize is like I be channeling and having meditative experiences, but like to get to that point to do it, but it's like that is ourselves, like that's that self-sabotage. Okay, so again, working on our boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And this is boundaries with ourselves, because if we don't have good boundaries with ourselves, we're definitely not going to have good boundaries with other people, meaning our expectations from other people, and expectations of ourselves with other people. Like if you always feel like you're overextended, you're doing too much, or oh blah blah blah, and that is a you thing, and you need to have better boundaries, because some of these people are doing their own thing and not even noticing and looking like, oh, that was a nice gesture, and you know what I'm saying. So this is a personal thing. So maybe how do we overcompensate in order to make up maybe for a past, you know what I'm saying? So there's a need for us to look within ourselves as far as how are we being triggered? How do we, because a lot of times when we trigger, we have a response, and they say like the most powerful person is a person who responds rather than reacts. Okay, so there's a difference between reacting and responding. Okay, so getting to that place of where we are not reacting, where we are responding in a timely manner, so that we don't get to that place of tick, 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 boom, and then there's resentment and other issues. Okay, and really what it started with was lack of communication, lack of boundaries. Okay, also here it says, keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So some of you guys could be having dreams, or some of you guys could have recently come across some pictures of like old relatives, or had interest, maybe ancestry type things, or like even if you randomly caught an ancestry show, and because of that, it made you, think about your own stuff. Okay, this is how some of your ancestors have reached out to you, and it's to let you know, like, no, you're not alone. Connect with us. Connect with, even if it's like maybe cultural things or spiritual things that you are randomly called to, like explore those things. Okay, but also with that, exploration doesn't mean that you're accepting it, right? So there's boundaries with yourself, because with this, the lesson here is we have a lesson in denial. I acknowledge my fears, but I replace them with the insight of awareness. So this is a time for us to really acknowledge our fears. Like, what are you afraid of? Who really are you? You know what I mean? Not just write out a plan, but whatever moon work we do, we need to be, a lot of people are like recording themselves on TikTok, and it's like how those little videos, even if you don't share them, keep it in your drafts, but it's like the intention and the energy from it. Okay, a lot of people have been doing it and getting really, really good, giving really good feedback behind it. But imagine if you did that same thing, but by looking at yourself dead in your face in the mirror, setting those intentions. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to have a 6-figure income. I'm going to, be the first that ever did it, baby. Whatever the case may be, you look yourself in the face and you speak those, and you speak them proud, you speak them with confidence, okay? Because you are lacking confidence, and it's because you're in denial of who the fuck you are. You're that bitch. And you can't blame nobody but you. You gotta accept responsibility for your well-being. You're in denial. It can't be everybody else, because at the end of the day, when it's you and God, he's going to be like, no, because then, so it's you, and then it's you and God. You got to accept responsibility for your well-being. Don't be in denial of who you are, of what your gifts are, your talents are, of what your contribution is at all. And don't sleep on it at all, because it's like you sleeping on spirit. Okay, don't, with this, the blame game in regards to relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my highest good. So, in regards to a lot of relationships, the blame isn't always other people. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's a need to take a look at you. Maybe it's a need to take a look at your boundaries. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, there's stress energy. Also with this, it's like maybe sometimes people just need to be comforted as well. Like there's stress, everybody's stressed. Everybody needs to be encouraged. So work on having your relationships where they're in a more encouraging place, but they're safe for you, where they have boundaries and they're healthy. Look what just came out. Friendship and peace. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So some of you guys are going to align with somebody from your soul tribe, from a past life, where it's like what's understood doesn't have to be explained. This could come from some of you guys praying for better boundaries and losing a lot of people and then gaining the right people. Okay? Being at a place of peace. Being peace at mind. Everybody's going to have their hands out, a need or want something from you at one point. But I take this two ways. For some of you guys, social media or whatever business type of stuff, this is going to be popularity. A lot of people are going to be trying to get their hands in. So some of you guys need to take that extra step as far as protecting yourself, protecting your boundaries, so that there's something strong established within you. And sometimes for some of you guys, you might even have to be more in that Scorpio, that darker energy where you're more mysterious, okay? So there's a need for there to be like mystery about you when it comes to all of these people, okay? Boundaries, relationships, friendships, okay? Also with this piece, I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. That's what this girl is saying right here. I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. So if you are being protected, trust in divine detours, okay? Trust in the timing, okay? Be at peace with everything that is happening in the way that it's happening. And if you're not, find out why you're not and figure it out so that you can be, okay? Look, a new start is coming, new moon, so new beginnings are coming. Like I said, we're going into the real new year. So I feel like this is going to be a new time, and this is a time to prepare for something big. But like you can't wait till it gets big to prepare. So it's like you got to establish these things. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Things are going to start flowing. They're going to start moving. Like if you're in business or something, or if things have been tough in your life recently, all of this stuff was like, how would you imagine that they prepare a warrior for war? Okay? And I feel like this is you coming out of that war where it's like, okay, baby, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Now, we didn't say that them weapons wasn't going to form, but damn it, they won't prosper, okay? Like, what doesn't kill you has absolutely made you stronger. Like, you are coming looking good out on the other side of all of this, okay? So, the end of this tough cycle is approaching. There's going to be Capricorn energy. There's the GOAT. People are going to be looking at you as the GOAT. People are going to be looking at you as a leader, okay? They're going to be looking to you for help. These are probably going to be people who, this could be those outside people where you might have people stressed and longing for you. And however that friendship thing applies, but what you need is encouragement and comfort and genuineness. It's time to take action, new moon in Aries, so there's a need to persevere. There's a need to take the lead. There's a need for some of you guys to know that you're the first one that's ever done what is about to be done, how it's going to be done, whether that be like just in your bloodline or just around you. So it's like this is something that's authentic and special. And you just got to move, because it's like the movements, the way that it unfolds after the more steps that you take, is like the whole testimony. It's like the beauty in the whole situation. Like you don't want to skip to the good part with this. So the focus for us is the nurturing of, this is moon energy, feelings caused by, so what we say triggers, also our reactions. What do we say? Triggers, reactions. Pay attention to these things that make us want to defend. So what is it that we're defending? Why are we defending? What is this defense built on? Okay, is it solid or could this shit crumble? What is the acceptance that's needed? Is this acceptance of self? Is this acceptance of our true path? Acceptance of, people as they are? Acceptance of who needs to not be here? Let your feelings tell you how to. So this is a time for you to truly tap within and allow your feelings to first go with self, and then from there, like, I feel like you could have like a outer body astral travel like experience with yourself, but I feel like try to do like a root chakra meditation if you can find one that's like a sleeping one on YouTube, and really like get into it during this time, because I feel like there's going to be like the love that you've been missing, a feeling of, it makes me feel like you could have an experience where it's like, I just felt like I was being held and so tight. Maybe there is somebody who's holding you tight next to you, but I do feel like there's just like this comfort and this hug and this embrace of like, where it's just like nothing even matters. It's like that perfect hug. Feelings caused by, and also reaction. Okay, I read that already. I don't know why I did it again, because obviously I needed to, okay? So, what is going to help us through this is flexibility, okay? Look, that's the same pose from the other thing. That's not a coincidence. We need to be doing this. Fred, we need to be doing the pose. Somebody needs to, I can't think of what it is. The exact pose. This is so funny how like all my little meditations and stuff that I've done for the collective this week. Look, peace. Also, this is the lotus. The lotus is like, I don't know if it's the only flower, but it's the only one I know of that comes from the mud. Okay? It grows from a dark place, but it's such a powerful, magical flower. Okay? So there's a need for flexibility, because you are maybe being transformed into this lotus. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe emerging from the dark part. And I feel like that's what this pose is. The emergence. When you emerge, the butterfly from the cocoon. With the T at the end. Look, this is also forgiveness. Forgive yourself and forgive whoever it is around you that you need to forgive. This is me too, because forgiveness is something like, it's hard for me. But we're going to do this through it sounds corny when you say that it's for you, but it truly is for you, because it's causing issues. It's causing desperate people to be attracted in some way. It's like the very thing that you're trying to not happen because of this energy, it's making it happen. Okay? I don't know how that hits, but whatever. So, working on forgiveness. Who needs to be forgiven? At the end of the day, when we do meet our maker, everybody has their things. Everybody's made their mistakes. Everybody's had their different impacts on people. And that's one thing that I know is, doing my mediumship, is that when people do cross over, they have that experience of, you get to see like people's experience of you at different times. Maybe even times that we personally forgot about. They don't, because it's like you see it fresh. Okay? So if we are going to be asking the higher power for forgiveness, then we must be capable of forgiving others ourselves, okay? Because you would want to be forgiven, whether the capacity or whatever. And that doesn't mean like, that's where that boundaries comes in. You can forgive somebody and never let them around you ever again, okay? But forgive somebody for being somebody to make a horrible or foolish mistake, even though, you may not have ever made a mistake, is horrible, but you've made a horrible mistake before. All of us have made mistakes that it's like, I hate that I did that, and if I could go back to do it again, I wouldn't, okay? Forgive yourself for the things that you cannot change. The other day, I was really seeing the Serenity Prayer, and I said I was going to open with this, but I forgot. But guess what? I'm going to close with it, because that's what makes sense anyway, because I want to send y'all off the right way. So, we're going to do the Serenity Prayer. And if you haven't already, friend, this would be the perfect time to go ahead and like this video. Okay. Alright, so so we are going to do the Serenity Prayer. It says, God grant me the sin, one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as he did the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will. I may be responsibly happy in this world and supremely happy with him forever in the next. So, amen, ashe, praises to the Most High. I hope that you have the most abundant, fruitful transition. And I'm so grateful